Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Zach Kerr, the big defensive tackle, the one to get him down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jameis on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So out now come the Lions. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Ready.
2nd down, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
Ready. Blue lady.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to the flat for Reddick. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They're going to try and throw. And he's got Rodgers. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He hits Riddick underneath. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-all is the score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Chester Rogers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Jameis to throw it. Out to his left. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw, Winston. Here's a screen to Powell. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This is caught by Jackson. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a...
Oh, the Bucs swarm in, and they block it. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Bucs are going to take the lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Extra point attempt here still to come. extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did. Yeah. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, Winston again. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rodgers. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Quick slant there gets him the 1st down, 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Now Riddick. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Come on, let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
They go back to Riddick. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Flex round. Flex round.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Levante David. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Looking downfield, and this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. In for the score. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Come on, let's go. What?
He'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Evans. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one. And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Ready. Blue ready.
And they'll run it here. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively. To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Ready. Blue ready.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable. And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later? The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. To return, here's Agnew. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. Red 38.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Rodgers. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Red 38.
They'll look to throw here. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt, and remember, his first one was blocked. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger.
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football. There's nice little video. He's seeing that in his head as well because he wants more of that to happen. So anytime you see him that relaxed, that comfortable, usually it's a big thumbs up for his team.
And it's been a big highlight day for him. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not much room there, so he'll get it up only to about the 21. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bucs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9.
Ready.
They set the goal beginning of the year. Hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now it'll be interesting to see how they respond as a team. Because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.